Rachel Zegler, the next woke MCU star to destroy the MCU universe. Massive Marvel rumors. So we're going to go ahead and get right into this. Welcome back to Views with Hughes, Culture and News. This is Jerome Hughes. Now, let's go ahead and get right into it. Now, basically, apparently Rachel Zegler found herself back in the spotlight and not in a good way. Okay, once again, Rachel Zegler is at the center of yet another massive controversy, and I'm taking this in as rumor. And this is time surrounding her role in Disney's upcoming live-action Snow White. Now, Rachel Zegler, whose name has become, basically synonymous with the backlash over the past 2 years, has managed to go ahead and alienate countless fans with her statements and actions. And let's not beat around the bush here. You see, Rachel Zegler has no one but herself to blame, okay? But there's something crazy going on. Rachel Zegler has repeatedly drawn criticism for her comments about the original Snow White animated classic, a beloved film that many fans hold near and dear to their hearts and stuff. But instead of celebrating the legacy of Snow White, Rachel Zegler has taken it upon herself to demean it, okay? Now, Rachel Zegler openly criticized, as you all know, the original movie, calling it outdated and problematic, which has not gone over well with the fans. Now, Disney's decision to cast Rachel Zegler in this particular role was, already controversial, but Rachel Zegler has managed to make things worse with her political divisive statements, okay? And now we see that Rachel Zegler's political rants have only added to the fuel to the fire. After Donald Trump's election, Rachel Zegler didn't just express her disapproval. She went on the attack where Rachel Zegler publicly insulted voters and stuff who supported Trump, calling them out in a way that alienated millions of Americans. Now, for someone like Rachel Zegler, who is the face of a major Disney movie, attacking half of the country's voters is not exactly a good PR move, as you all know. Yet Rachel Zegler did it anyway. Now, doubling down on her divisive rhetoric, which led to some deep consequences. Now, Disney understandably wasn't thrilled with Rachel Zegler's behavior, which Rachel Zegler was reportedly pressured to go ahead and issue an apology, but the damage is already done. Now, when Rachel Zegler finally apologized, it came across as insincere to many fans, and critics argued that, Rachel Zegler and her apology wasn't really heartfelt. And it felt like a box Disney needed Rachel Zegler to check. But unsurprisingly, Rachel Zegler's reputation took another hit, and the controversy surrounding Rachel Zegler continued and it continued to grow. Now, there's rumors of swirling that Rachel Zegler might be considered for a role in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, okay? I kid you not. Yes, you heard it right. Rachel Zegler, the same Rachel Zegler who has been the lightning rod for controversy, is reportedly being eyed for another Disney project. And these reports suggest that Marvel Studios is interested in casting Rachel Zegler. But this has sparked an immediate backlash, and fans are questioning why Marvel would even consider Rachel Zegler, let alone, Kevin Feige, given Rachel Zegler's reputation and ongoing criticism surrounding her. Now, the name of Rachel Zegler has sparked debate across social media, with many users voicing their frustration. And comments about Rachel Zegler range from basically sarcastic jokes to outright disdain. One person even wrote that Rachel Zegler should play an extra that gets killed off in the first 5 minutes, while others simply say they don't want Rachel Zegler, and no thank you. And the overwhelming sentiment seems to be that, Rachel Zegler has no place in the MCU, and fans are urging Disney and Kevin Feige to rethink any plans involving Rachel Zegler. All right. And it's not just, the Rachel Zegler controversy that's dragging the Disney down. Live action remakes like the one Rachel Zegler is starring in have already been struggling. OK, and the Little Mermaid remake is a prime example. While it didn't feature Rachel Zegler, though, the film still, underperformed in the box office financially, leaving Disney with a significant loss. Now, with Rachel Zegler headlining Snow White, many feared that the film would actually face even worse fate, and Rachel Zegler and involvement has already alienated a large portion of the audience itself, and the trailer's reception reflects that. The Snow White trailer starring Richard Zegler racked up over 1 million dislikes compared to less than 100,000 likes. All right. And it's also clear that, Richard Zegler and her presence is not winning people over at all. OK, but Richard Zegler's, comments, controversial comments have only made things worse. Instead of promoting the film, Richard Zegler has used her platform to basically make inflammatory statements and further alienating fans. Now, Richard Zegler's dismissive attitude toward Trump supporters have been particularly damaging already. And by essentially saying, well, if you voted for Trump, I don't want your business. Richard Zegler has managed to go ahead and turn the potential ticket buyers into detractors, okay, where people are avoiding Richard Zegler at all costs. Now, Richard Zegler's words matter, and in this case, they've hurt both Richard Zegler and the Disney brand itself, okay? Now, Disney's decision to go ahead and cast Richard Zegler is looking more and more like a mistake, or bad timing, or bad choice. And Richard Zegler's controversial reputation has overshadowed the film, and many are questioning why Richard Zegler was chosen in the first place, myself included. But Richard Zegler's divisive comments have turned what should have been a celebratory project into a PR nightmare. Now, as Richard Zegler continues to make headlines for all the wrong reasons, it's actually hard to see how this movie can succeed. And I also take back what I said as the question why they chose Richard Zegler for it, but I just remember they chose Richard Zegler for this movie because of the fact that she's easily controllable. Okay, it's that simple. And Richard Zegler's, rumored involvement in the MCU raises even more questions. If Marvel Studios is truly considering Richard Zegler for a role, it would signal that, they're completely out of touch with their audience. Now, Richard Zegler's history of controversy is a major red flag, and fans are already expressing their outrage at the idea that Richard Zegler joining the MCU. Now, the backlash against Richard Zegler is a warning sign, but will Disney even listen? I highly doubt that. And they've just won some people back with Deadpool and Wolverine, and now they're about to go ahead and lose them once again by casting Richard Zegler if this rumor is true. Now, Richard Zegler's track record doesn't inspire confidence at all. Now, time and time again, Richard Zegler has shown that, she's willing to say whatever she wants, regardless of the different consequences. But Richard Zegler's unapologetic approach has earned her a reputation as one of Hollywood's most polarizing figures, even though she's a new face. Yet, despite all of this, Disney seems to be determined to keep Richard Zegler in the spotlight for some weird reason. But whether it's Snow White or a potential MCU role, Richard Zegler remains a central figure in Disney's plans, unfortunately. Now, Richard Zegler's involvement in these projects also sparked a broader conversation, about the direction that Hollywood is heading, where fans are tired of being lectured by actors like Richard Zegler. Now, they're tired of franchises being used as political platforms and for their political messaging, and Richard Zegler has become a symbol of that frustration. You see, Richard Zegler's comments have alienated countless fans, and many feel that, Hollywood has lost touch with its audience. And that's basically been proved right there from time to time. And Richard Zegler's situation is a cautionary tale. For studios like Disney, casting someone like Richard Zegler comes with risks. And Richard Zegler's controversial statements have overshadowed her talent, making her basically a liability at this point. Now, as Richard Zegler continues to generate headlines, the focus remains on her actions rather than her performances, okay? And this is the kind of attention that Disney or any studio should want. I mean, let's be real here. She's definitely a liability. Now, Richard Zegler's story isn't over, but the damage she's done to her reputation will be hard to repair. Richard Zegler's comments have left a lasting impression, and many fans have already made up their minds about her. Now, whether it's Snow White or the MCU, Richard Zegler's involvement will likely be met with skepticism and backlash. Now, for Richard Zegler herself, the road ahead looks rocky, and it's unclear if she can turn things around. So, what do you think about Richard Zegler? Should Marvel basically still clear of Richard Zegler, or is there a chance that there's a chance for redemption? Let me know your thoughts about this in the comments below. Also, be sure to include any additional thoughts you might have this particular topic. If you enjoy what I shared in this video, go ahead, smash the like button, share this video far and wide across social media. And if you haven't done so already, you enjoyed all the content that I put out there, go ahead, subscribe to the channel, click the bell notifications so that way you'll be notified of future uploads and updates. Till then, peace.